He's either in his room or in the bathroom. My dad behind me. Um, but yeah, I really adore that look when you're able to keep the integrity of the brush strokes. Matter of fact, um, you know, the old masters. Okay, I'll show you I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, pieces like this, when you really get into the brass tacks and look at them, this was done with a grisaille underpainting first, and then the color was layered over the top of it or glazed very subtly. Um, and of course this is Van Eyck. This is the Dutch painter Van Eyck. I think this was a self portrait. Um, Again, here's another one, another example. Because you see how you get that, the way you do that right there, that smoothness right there. That right there is only achieved when you sit there and you render and smooth every brushstroke out. Yes, I do actually. It just so happens the reference I was using today was actual drawings that I had done before that were based on other reference. So it's basically me reinterpreting. Now check this one out. This is another good example. That right there. Look at the contrast that you get with that. That right there was not done in one sitting. I can guarantee you that. This was done in at least several sittings. All right, hang on. And then you get these old pieces like this. I mean, incredible. You know. Matter of fact, I'll show you Rembrandt. Rembrandt is known for using very juicy brushstrokes. I mean, look at the forehead where the lights are. He's putting paint on there so thick, no medium in it, just almost. It would, like today it would be straight out of the tube, but back then they had to make their own paint. They couldn't go somewhere and have ready-made paint in a tube. I mean, this is the 1600s. And this painting still looks like this today. It's incredible. And if you look right around like the forehead, that paint is on there so thick that it's catching the light and reflecting the light that is that like when you look at it in a gallery and you see it, it's like, oh yeah. And these are oils. Like yeah, Rembrandt and all them, they used oils big time back then. Of course, here's probably Rembrandt's most famous painting of all, The Night Watch. Can you imagine how long it took him to do this? This painting is humongous. Like, oh yeah, think of oil paint in terms of it's basically three parts: pigment, oil, and a binder. A lot of the time. A lot of people back in, like, what they would do is they would take their own pigments, their own ground pigments, and they would mix it in with linseed oil. And then, and you would grind that until it was like a paste. And, matter of fact, there's another streamer here who on Twitch who actually makes his own oil paint, and he makes his own watercolors too. Let's see if I can shout him out. Shout out.
That's smelling freaking good over there.
I think I'm painting.
What do they have in the pressure cooker?
I have pork in the pressure cooker.
Ah, you have pork in the pressure cooker. You good? No. What's wrong?
There you go. Yeah. I'm painting badly.
Stomach.
He makes his own oil paint, and he does it on stream too, and he makes his own watercolor. The only thing that, like, most of every paint that you buy, whether it be oil, watercolor, acrylic, gouache, tempera, I don't care what it is, it all has the same source for pigments. It just, depends on where they source it from, but it's all the same. The only thing that makes it different is what the binder is. Because obviously oil paint, it's oil. Acrylic, it's sometimes like I know Liquitex, they are like a latex based binder. That's why I can't use Liquitex paint around my sister, because she's allergic to the latex. Gouache, a lot of the time a lot of the binder for those is a lot of gouache is actually milk based paint, believe it or not. And gouache is like a hybrid between an acrylic and it's the in between a watercolor and an acrylic. And of course nowadays, companies make stuff called acrylic gouache and things like that. And of course watercolor. Watercolor and gouache have almost the same kind of watercolor uses gum arabic as the binder, and you can get it in tubes. You can get it in cake little pans. They have like the little cakes in them that are just solid chunks of color, and you wet it, and that's how you paint with watercolor. But it's still the same binder as gum arabic. But yeah, depending on the brand, it's still the same pigment that's in oil paint and every other paint that you get. Nowadays you have the benefit of modern chemistry creating pigments like quinacridone magenta. That's a red with no yellow in it, which is incredible, because you got to think, what do like red has yellow in it. I mean, we know this. Especially like in my case, I really know this because I'm also a licensed hairdresser. Well, I used to be able to work before that happened. Yeah, I was. Yeah, you learn that if you have somebody with really dark hair, and you go to put bleach on their hair is going to go through all these stages. You're going to go through red, orange, yellow stage, all the way to the pale yellow. Is like, yeah. Oh, in these right here, it's all in the way you apply the paint. Like contrast, like playing with your value range and your contrast helps out a lot with that too, because you can see like all those colors there. I'm pretty sure it looks different in real life. Hang on, let me show you a better example. Okay, you see this right here? The parts of Rembrandt's face that are catching the light in this self-portrait of him, all the paint is thicker, and all of the shadows are thinner paint. They have more medium in them to make them flow more, make them less thick. And sometimes doing like a cool shadow and a warm highlight, playing with warm and cool color temperatures. And then look, I can tell you this: none of these colors right here are the exact, like, not one's not a purple, one's not a red. Every color on in this painting is just a shade of gray. They're just different temperatures. So, yeah, that's basically, it's and you got to think, they didn't have a whole lot of pigments available back then, but I tell you one thing, they were still experimenting heavily back in those days, especially in the days of Da Vinci. Like, oh my God, I actually saw a picture one time. They digitally scanned the Mona Lisa, and in the computer peeled the varnish off and restored all the colors to what they would have looked like to Leonardo's eyes when he first painted it. And the painting is not green. When I'm doing digital, it's all about where my light hits. And hang on. I'll show you. I'll show you a good example of. Let's see. I'll show you. I'll show you an example. All right. All right. Like this one right here. You get up close. What does that look like? Just a bunch of scratches, right? But when you back away, you can tell that that's metal. You can tell that it's a metal texture or plastic or whatever. It depends on where you put your light, you know, and a lot of the time, like of course too, like you can soften an edge. It's all in how you use hard and soft edges. I'll show you an even better example. Because I have another one in here. If I can find him, it's the one I did of the Grinch last December. Yeah, that one I did of the Grinch last December. Check this out. This right here is a perfect example of what I talk about when you're playing with hard and soft edges. And in digital, we also have another little thing that we use called color dodge. I mean, you see how like on this side in particular, I mean, look at that. Look at that up close. All you see is brush strokes, but then when you back away from it, it looks like it's glowing, like there's light shining from behind him. It's all. I mean, all I did here was just put dabs of color, but when you zoom out, it looks like faded, like camera blur Christmas lights behind him. Oh yeah, it's all in how you use your tools. Matter of fact, the set that I used for this one was the Wes Gardner set. It's a set of brushes that he makes for let's get you a better view of it. Yeah, it's a set of brushes that he makes that I was able to get him for free, and he has YouTube tutorials on them too. Matter of fact, look at this back here. I did this too on my iPad. That was a plein air painting I did on my iPad. Let's see. Yeah, I think it pops up here ever so often. But yeah, this is a better example of it right here. And I actually, matter of fact, I actually have on imprint. I have prints of this that you can get. This is a digital painting, but it looks traditional, don't it? Let's see. Well, normally too, what I tell people though is like, especially back here. You see how I put a stroke like really like transparent, and then I put the core, like the smaller dots, I made them more opaque. And you see how when you zoom out, it looks like it's the same. It looks like it's, like it's lit. And then you know how when you look at a light bulb and like in a camera, and it has that little halo around it, that haze around it. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like a lens flare. Like it has that. That's what I tried to replicate here. Let's see. Let's see if I can demonstrate this. Yeah. Let me demo this. Okay. So all right. We'll just do this. All right. Now watch this. Okay. Come on. All right. All the way black. Now, I'm going to drag this, if it'll work. There you go. That just fills it in, right? Now, all right. Now I'm going to go in. Where is now this is if you do it with an airbrush. All right, with one of your airbrush tools. Okay. All right, soft brush. Let's say I have. Let's see. Up the size a little bit. Now I'm just going to make little circles. And since it's pressure sensitive, I just get lighter with my touch. All right. Now, right in here, I get a little lighter. Yeah, just kind of blend it in there a little bit. But now look here, I'm gonna get my smudge brush and just kind of, since I like my stuff to look brush strokey. All I'm now see, I'm not applying any more color. I'm just, I'm just smudging what's already there. All right, now I'm going to go into the spray paint. Where is... Oh, no, okay, and then in Procreate, we have these luminous brushes, right? Okay, watch this, the flare. See how that looks? Now, watch this. Doom. Boom, right there. Procreate makes it so easy, but I don't need that brush to do it. I can do it without ever needing it. Matter of fact, okay, too small. All right. Okay, and then just smudge it out. Yeah, you smudge that out, blend it in, and then I can, let's see, I'm gonna go back to my airbrushing. All right, we'll do medium hard, and then, and you see it's a different look than that other brush. We'll go back to the soft brush. There. Okay, yeah. Yeah, basically all I did was I kept going like straight to white, and then I would just go in and blend it out. Yeah, just go in and blend it out. And then oh, check this out. Procreate also has these drawing assists. Watch this. We're going to do symmetry. Let's see. Let's see. Nope. All right, we're going to do symmetry. Okay? Do symmetry. Make sure that this point is right in the middle of that. Okay? Now there's a line right there. This becomes symmetrical. So now what I do on one side, it does on the other.
What do you see? What is it? Is it treasure map?
It says here, at the wall. Spelled with 2 E's. Take a look.
Look at that.
Wow.
You'd be surprised at what you could do with that symmetry tool. Ain't that amazing?
How'd they find us?
Look at that. Just make this like really luminous looking light beam.
We separate the locker and the key. We're splitting up.
Good idea.
Really? I'll take this.
Look at that. You definitely could. You could do something like that. I mean, look at that. I just used the symmetry tool and I literally made this like it looks like a luminous light body being. Look at there, do that kind of that halo corona look. You know what? I ought to save this. Yeah, it looks like a supernova, but it like if like when you look at it in the middle, look at that. It just looks like I drew a figure in there and had them like illuminate. All right. Oh. Man. Yeah, okay, you got me wanting to experiment with more brushes now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna save that and come back to it later. Oh yeah. Oh, check this out. Here's another good example. The one I did of Pick Stitch, to where I turned him into Chris Redfield. Look at this right here, where I softened that out right there, and then I just put that really bold stroke right in there, like right in here. I just put that really bold brush stroke right there, and I left it. You know, again, look right here. I did it in all these parts of the face right there to give it a luminosity. Oh, okay. All right. I'm definitely going to have to show you this. Okay. Okay. Real colors of the Mona Lisa. Check this out. This is what it actually would have looked like to Leonardo's eye. That's what that painting would have looked like 500 years ago. That is with 500 years of old, dirty varnish and faded paint and pigment is supposed to look like. She's not green at all. If only France would allow them to restore, if only the Louvre would allow them to physically restore the Mona Lisa, that's what it would look like. I mean, look, she doesn't have pale green cheeks. Look, they're pink. She is full of life. Yeah, the Louvre will not let them touch the Mona Lisa. Well, 500 years of dirt and grime and being exposed to the environment. Varnish, believe it or not, it can preserve a painting, but it can also hurt the archivalness of your painting, especially depending on what kind of varnish you use. Now, see, when most of us see the Mona Lisa, this is what we're used to seeing. Hang on. Let me pull them up side by side. Look at that. That's what we're used to seeing, not this. They digitally went in after they scanned it, and they took these electron scans to determine what pigments were used in the original paint, and then they went in and did their research on what those pigments look like, and then they went in and put the filter over it, and then they sharpened all the edges. I mean, it's a completely different painting. But this right here, 500 years of cracking and weathering and yellowing, and yeah. But yeah, I understand why the Louvre won't do it. It's because this painting is a national treasure in France. I mean, it is by Leonardo da Vinci, and he did not do very many oil paintings. He did more frescoes and more drawings and sketchbooks than anything else. Probably one of the biggest things he's known for, other than this painting, is the fact that he invented stuff. Like he was 500 years ahead of his time in those sketchbooks. Yes, her skin tone looks happier. Even her smile looks more cheerful when you look at how the Mona Lisa is actually supposed to look. Look right in here. Look at how deep those oranges and those reds are in all that. And then look, it's not an underwater scene. It's all nice and bright blue sky back there in the background. I mean, I don't know. It's incredible. It is incredible what you see. Like, I can imagine 500 something years ago looking at Leonardo paint this. You know, it took him, I think it took him 15 years to paint this. He didn't, like, 15 years to paint the Mona Lisa. Yeah, it's incredible.
I need fucking wipes.
Cats.
Backs up.
Oh, God. Yeah, she looks more human and less like a faded statue in the actual colors. I mean, she looks more alive. It's like you're literally like it was painted yesterday. You know, 500 something years later, I think Leonardo would have been amazed that we could digitally do that. Like digitally restore a painting. You know, as much as we can physically restore a painting, that takes so much longer. But the amount of research that goes into doing both a physical restoration and a digital restoration is the exact same. No, she really isn't. I mean, when you look at what the painting actually looks like I wish more people saw this. I think they should print a full print of that out on a canvas and hang it up next to the original Mona Lisa, so that people can compare to the Mona Lisa 500 years ago, Mona Lisa present. I don't know. It's amazing. They did a whole PBS Nova episode on them restoring this digitally. You know, and I mean, and look, before Da Vinci, there were nobody. There was, I think it was Da Vinci and his mentor were the only people painting like this. Yeah, her smirk, like everybody say, oh, look at that little enigmatic smirk. Yeah, look at it here. It's even more prevalent in this version of the image than it is in the previous one. It's incredible. I mean, it's incredible what pigment can do. Pigment has power. Oh, man. I'm like, I could imagine he probably spent a few years working on the grisaille alone and then layering the color on top of it. Oh, man. Yeah, if I ever get the chance to do oil painting again one day, and you can do it with acrylic too, it's just a little harder. You got to work a lot faster. With oil paint, you could work as slow as you want. But usually, like if you start it with a really tight drawing, you put your darks in, and then you put your lights in, and then you start blending them together on the canvas, almost like you're sculpting the painting, like you're doing a 3D sculpture. Oh yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. Matter of fact, I did those two pieces, and I am ready to get off for the night. And I wonder, does anybody have a suggestion for somebody we could raid? Yeah, anybody have a good suggestion? Let's see who's live with my thing, because I got a lot of buddies. Science is on. Hell's Painted King. Amish Kim for a day. She's playing Palia. Denver's painting. Cody Sheeby. I haven't rated him in a while. Duty Beard. Ian Shreds. Let's see. Huh. Let's see. How about... Let's see. What if... Okay, you know, I'm going to introduce you to somebody cool. I think you'll like Cody. Cody Sheeby. Cody Sheeby is awesome. Oh, yeah. Watch this. Hey, yo. Now, all right. All right, so we're going to rate Cody. All right. No, wait. Wrong one. RAID. Make sure I'm spelling it right. Alrighty. Y'all have a great night. Don't forget to take care of yourself. And I hope everybody has a good night. And thank y'all for stopping by. And I'll see y'all next time. Everybody, make sure we stick around to rate Cody. Show Cody some love. He deserves every bit of it. And I'll see y'all next time.